Hey, this is Miss D for Six Women Sports. If you be so kind, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. But I would like to talk about the Chicago Sky. An interesting team. They've brought in some veterans from last year's younger team. Vandersloot played pretty good with Angel Reese. They connected pretty good with each other. Of course, Haley Van looked pretty good out there. Um, she looks comfortable out there, and of course, you got Camila Cardoza. And as a article I wanted to get into, says three takeaways from the Chicago Sky preseason win, including Camila Cardoza flashing her offensive potential. You know, as we know, last year, before she got into her groove, she had a shoulder injury, so she missed most of the season, and she couldn't really get her connections far as with Angel Reese. So the Chicago Sky played their first minutes of the preseason in front of their fans and against a WNBA opponent on Tuesday night, beating the Minnesota Lynx 74-69. And of course, you had the rivalry of Angel Reese and Fee. So see them battling, it was pretty cool. Of course, Angel got the best of the veteran, Fee Collier. So, according to the Yahoo Sports article, they gave some takeaways from the game. It says Camila Cardoza flash offensive potential. Now, Camila, when she want to be, could be very dominant. She's 6'7", but she's not your traditional 6'7". She runs the floor very well. She's a great passer, and she got outside shots, so she's not traditional back to the basket. Rebounds very well. So she's not very bulky. She's very athletic, 6'7". So here, textbook examples of how the Sky want to score this season. Point guard Courtney Vandersloot found Cardoza cutting after driving to the rim. Then Vandersloot dished to Cardoza for a post-up on an ensuing possession. And she went 5 from 7 from the field for 10 points. And it says her shooting profile highlighted the importance of her relationship with Sloot, who created ample opportunities for the center. Now, Sloot is a veteran. Of course, she's a great passer, great facilitator. And last year, one of the problems that the Sky had, they didn't have any guards that could feed the post. And Vandersloot know how to do that. She played with Stewie. She played with Janelle. And so she knows how to feed the post, to take a step forward as a scorer. That doesn't necessarily mean overly hefty expectations. So, yeah. You scroll down here a little bit. The Sky want Cardoza to move quickly in her role to utilize her speed advantage, which allows her to be a hedgy defender to the rim and create a sell-off. And she's very good at that. Like I said, she's not a traditional. She can face up more than just post up in the lane. Also, she can run the floor. So with Vandersloot passing in an open court, she can get points like that, or she can get her shots facing up. But sometimes she just don't be aggressive enough. I know she can be dominant. So she has to have that get up and go motor. Especially if you have a guard like Sleuth. So let me read a little bit more. It says, Sleuth said, I want to be able to hit her early so she could really get into her stride. We worked a lot on these angles because of how people guard me in the ball screen. So that was one takeaway. Number two takeaway was the young rookie Haley Van Lith, HVL. Um, it says this was her first welcome to the league moment for the rookie guard who played 17 minutes and featured in what appears to be the main unit. The challenge comes from two there's Courtney Williams and Natasha Heidelman, who smothered Van Lith on the perimeter. The Sky rookie struggled cleanly connect her screens with the ball in her hands and couldn't get a typical separation when cutting off the ball. So she just had to find her spots. Um, every team has a dog defender, not just Courtney. So she really had to find her spots of where she um, is comfortable shooting the ball. We all know she's a great defender. I mean, a 3-point shooter. She's very quick. So just find her spot. She'd be okay. So that was one takeaway. So this is from Yahoo Sports if you want to take a look at it. And it says, who makes the cut? Van Lith's position appears to be secure after she played in a primary 10-player rotation Tuesday, but the game offered a few hints of potential cuts. The Sky have one final preseason game. I don't think they cut anybody yet. So Marsh did not play Maddie Westbelt, Morgan Birch, and Allie Wilson, and Jessica Carter until the fourth quarter. Contracted players closed the final 5 minutes, with Westbelt moving to the third position to accommodate Birch at the 4. Westbelt struggled to get her spots and did not take a shot. Wilson showed her ability to fit into the Sky next high volume 3-point shooting style. Now they compare Wilson to like a Kennedy Carter, but can shoot a better 3-point ball. So she went 1 for 3 behind the arc in 9 minutes. Carter also stood out with a clutch time basket and block. The Sky seemed highest on Westbelt, the number 16 pick in last month's draft out of Notre Dame as a backup power forward. And I think she'll make the team to spell Angel. But they could choose a slightly more versatile option with Wilson as a stretchy wing. Yeah, they both can. I think they can both help Angel. Some of the takeaways that Yahoo Sports decided to write about. So yeah, I agree with some of it. I do think Westbelt makes the team. She can shoot the 3. And Wilson, we'll see, and Carter. So Cheyenne Sellers. And interesting was that she was a top pick and the Valkyries decided to let her go. Now, I don't know. Natalie Agassi said that she did everything that the team wanted, and she played very little. So I don't know. Before they even played a game, so it left things in the air, and so everybody's wondering: is this a her injury, or she had some injuries to her knee? Now, one player I was very surprised, Deja Kelly, from the Las Vegas Aces. She scored 15 points, including the game winner. And out of all the guards between her, Harmony, I didn't see her beating out Harmony. But they cut Harmony Turner. And some teams have some room. I would say Seattle, they lost a lot of bodies. far as breed concerned, the Dream has some spots, even though they picked up Cheyenne Seller. So uh, international players that they drafted that hasn't came over yet. It's like they stashing these international players. And it says WNBA roster cuts sparked debate about prioritizing international talent. Says most teams wait until after their final preseason games to trim down, at least getting everyone before making a decision. So one move that bucked the trend and was premature was Cheyenne Sellers, like we talked about. Now I think allegedly that the Bucks might be kind of going younger and with role players instead of because I think Cheyenne Sellers could be all star, and I think a lot of players they have on a team is not all stars, and I think they might be tanking it a little bit, so it just didn't make sense. So Sellers was only one of multiple cuts. On Friday, the Sparks cut Alyssa Uxby and Nellie Maley. New York made its first cut, waiving Caitlin Davis. And then the Aces, after they waive Harmony Turner, they also waive Mackenzie Forbes and Michaela Herbert Harrington. So you have after Chicago played their game, they waive Arilla Garantis and Tilly Boiler and Sammy Persis. And also another player that was out, she was not drafted, and I was I'm still rooting for her. She's from Norfolk State. And she played in PWI schools, but she transferred to the HBCU, and the Lynx picked her up, but I don't think she played, and they cut her as well. So none of these players waived this weekend, apart from Sellers, were expected to make the final WNBA rosters. It's just the nature of the cutthroat league. You need to be an elite tier or talent or just to get a shot. But a lot of these players did not get a shot. Like, Sellers didn't play in their first preseason game for the Bucks. I don't think Diamond Johnson played for the Lynx. Harmony Turner didn't play it too much. So they say they used their expansive draft picks to acquire a ton of European talent and used the 2025 number 5 pick on a stash European Justice Joti. The Bucks did. JJ. So they waive Sellers. They also kept Caitlin Chin. I don't know how long she's going to be. And she was drafted 30 overall out of UConn. They said I have conflicting opinions about the above takes, being a basketball fan and in Canada myself, for one. I know it's hard for international talent to be recognized at all. How are there so few opportunities to make a WNBA team? The on edge and defensive Canadian at 25 morphed to me wants to immediately call out Americans for their perpetual single game mindedness. So I'm gonna go down, and as the season day rosters is due May 15th and tips off at May 16th. So you had to have your rosters ready before or due May 15th. So Maya Hollenshed was cut by the Connecticut Sun, Abby Shue, Connecticut Sun, Jordan Jenkins, Aces, Caitlin Davis, New York Liberty, Alyssa Utsby, Los Angeles Sparks, Anelli Maley, Los Angeles Sparks, Cheyenne Sellers, who's picked up by the Dream. She was cut, of course, by the Valkyries. Arilla Garantis, Chicago. Tilly Bowler, Chicago Sky. Sammy Postis, Chicago Sky. Mackenzie Forbes, Dallas. Michaela Herbert Hannigan, Dallas Wings. Morgan Jones, Mystics. JoJo Lacey, Washington Mystics. Bree Hall, Indiana Fever. And Jillian Allen, Indiana Fever. Deona Gatson. Wow, that was like some of these players are very shocking. Like Gatson, I thought was stick. Bree Hall. Of course, I was rooting for Diamond Johnson. She never, got much playing time. So, whew. Wow. So yeah, so far that's the cuts that has came in. So WNBA is a hard league to catch up, to be a part of. It's so many roster spots, and now you add in the international players. It's like, yeah, and then they not even a lot of these players haven't came over yet, and you have teams that might be tanking allegedly. So if you a college star or a 4-year starter, unlike the guys, you have to be 22. And I think I keep saying I think the player that should challenge that is Juju Watkins, because you have Dominic Malanga, who played for Seattle. She's only 18, 19. I know, she's a international player who played basically professionally, but the rules are the rules. You want the American players to jump through hoops. They got to be 22, and they got to be this much out of college, and it's just a lot. So I always say that Juju Watkins should challenge that. Can we all get along? This portal and clutch has gotten real ugly. You have players getting on social media, players' moms getting on social media as well, and airing out their dirty laundry. You have players who has perceived beef. They left a team, perceived beef on a team, and nothing that's more interesting than the dynamic of one of the best guard tandems of last year's women's basketball NCAA with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. You have the veteran who's been with Notre Dame for 4 years. She's a graduate student, Olivia Miles. Then you have the sophomore, 19-year-old Hannah Doggo. And everything seemed to be good. They was on the cover of Slam Digital Magazine as one of the best 1-2 punches out there. And the season was going good for Notre Dame. And early on, they had a big win. It was on NBC, and they played USC and Juju Watkins and Kiki Irfin. And they won that game. Olivia Miles got off. Hannah Doggo played pretty good. And then I would say about mid-February or early February, before their tournament happened, it went all kind of downhill. And people was wondering why. And there's a lot of selfish basketball and not the team ball that they played with. Maddie Westfield didn't get the ball. Latu King didn't get the ball. So instead of trying to get the ball, when the ball was moving, even though Hannah and Olivia was the 1-2 punch, but when everybody was eating, the team looked better. You had a lot of one-on-one play between Hannah Doggo and Olivia Miles. And it seemed like both of them just wanted to get their shot, and it kind of affected the team overall. In a shocking move after the season, Olivia Miles decided to take her talents to TCU. I guess she's like, you know what? It worked for HVL. Let me see if it can work for me. I like to shoot the threes. I like to play in a faster pace, and TCU seemed to play that style. So let me roll on over to Texas Christian University in Dallas. And Hannah and Olivia Miles decided, well, Hannah decided that when she saw Olivia Miles, she wanted to you know, talk to her. And it went kind of left a little bit. Let me see. So this is kind of caught by a fan. Hannah Hidalgo said something about the LGBTQ community. And she was criticized on social media. Now, I don't know, I don't want to speculate if Olivia Miles is part of the community, but it seemed like some tension between them. I don't think it was because of that necessarily. I think that she figured, like, where do I fit in? As far as I'm the veteran on the team, and Hannah is just super sophomore. And a lot of times, and what caused a lot of these losses was that Hannah wanted to play hero ball sometime. And, I think Miles probably like, I'm kind of tired of this. And I think the team actually could have made it further without all the selfish pay of sometimes both of them, but mostly Hannah. So it was just seemed like a lot of tension. And behind the scene, it seemed like they had some meetings, and so let me share my screen. So Hannah, we'll see. Watch this. So let me turn the music on. They shake hands, and it seemed like she was confronting her. Let me stop it for a second. So let me go back. So they Notre Dame was playing. Not Notre Dame, I'm sorry. The Fever is playing. And so hold on. There we go. Hold on. They shaking hands. Let me go frame by frame. Hello. And they shook hands. Then she walks up on Hannah. I mean, Hannah walks up on Olivia like, um, what you say? I didn't say anything. You mistaken. And so she started kind of back up and with these hand gestures. Now she's saying, well, somebody said you said blah 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 blah. He said, no, you mistaken. Who, me? Yes, you. Now she pointed. She's very clearly being aggressive here. No, me? Yeah, me? She said that you said that I was selfish. No, I'm just, I'm just putting words in my mouth. She said that you left. She's like, who said what? I don't know what you're talking about. It's just miscommunication. Everything good. We good. No. Here comes security. Everything okay around here? Everything okay? Everything okay? Yeah, just kind of take it. Yeah, kind of take it through the tunnel. Goodbye. So it's different angles. They still arguing. Somebody was taping them. So can we all get along? Hannah. She owes you no explanation. She left the team. And the way you acted, it seemed like we know why. You seem like you're aggressive. What you say? And a little bit like, I ain't say nothing. I said we was good. That's not what I heard. I heard it's like you was talking mess online. I went, who's talking mess online? You? No. You got confused. I know I wasn't talking mess online. We good. We good, sis. Had a like, what? You said, and and she seemed like she's kind of aggressive. I guess it was a statement made, but that was way earlier, and they were still around it. Maybe they wasn't around each other when I think she kind of made a slight statement saying people who say they're Christian but don't act like that. And so I guess she was like, "What? You said that but hit dogs will holler. So how she was talking about you, Hannah Hildago?" But we clearly see the dynamic, of their personalities. Hannah seems like a very aggressive, like her name is Hildago. She's a dog. She's a little pit bull. And Olivia on the court is that, but off the court she's like, I'm laid back. I got my cats. I play with my cats. And on the court, if it's done right, it's very good. Off the court, maybe not. And you can see who the aggressor was, and you can see who was the older adult. Hannah is 19, getting ready to be 20. I think she's 20 now. And Olivia is 23, and she's already a college graduate. She's a graduate student. So you saw the different dynamics of different spectrums. And I should grow into it, like, you know what, I shouldn't have did that. Even if I felt like that, this lady don't owe me no apology. That's not the way to do it. It might have felt good at the time, but it's not good from an emotional standpoint. And and then I think other recruits look at that like, do I want to really play with her? Because I can't picture Juju Watkins doing it. So you had the Juju Watkins, they are all in the same class. Let's do some fun here. As we know, yesterday was Asia Wilson Day. Asia Wilson A1 Day in Vegas. Her show sold out. in 6 minutes. Oh, okay. But some people said that Miss Wilson, Asia, last name Wilson, is not marketable. Yeah. That's what you said. So she's not marketable. Why are shoes selling? She had the pink Oro. That was the first ones that dropped. All her teammates wore her t-shirt. And also all her the coaches, even her boot thing. Bam Adebayo had his pair on at the game. So let me share this here. So I love it. Asia Wilson is the MVP, something like that, you know. It's like Miss Mary, all just Hold on.
Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, from the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough, so she did it for us. Yeah, if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know better than that.
Her drips elite, it can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's a top tier. Angel Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot.
Oh, I love it. I love that. Angel wasn't on top. Can't take her spot. I like that. That's very clever. And you saw her mom, you saw Coach Staley, you saw her parents, grandparents hanging the pictures. I just love it. And just keep them coming with the commercials. I love it, man. So yeah, then you got young Angel Reese Jr. At the Met Gala. Let's see. And also, she played the other night after going to the Met Gala. I mean, this girl is busy. And she's one of the people on the board for the Met Gala. So she makes some decisions for the Met Gala. And she was there with Meg the Stallion. Reese had one of the best outfits out there. Then you had some Liberty. I didn't care for their outfits. Look at that, classy, but very old school. Gave it like 1930s, 40s look at the Cotton Club in Harlem, something like that. We got the pin curls. Oh, that was a dope outfit. Okay. Go, Angel. So they go the some of the Liberty. Jacques. So, very impressed by the that, and I really don't pay attention to that gala, but they had so many players, WNBA players, and of course, Angel, they took over the show. Even had Flaw J. Johnson was a part of the Met Gala, and so Angel, very with using her power, um, got some of her WNBA colleagues in there. I'm looking forward to the season. I think the Sky is going to be, people talk about the fever. The Sky going to be pretty good. If you can, like, share, subscribe to this channel. Peace.